Good morning, everyone. My name is Dina Fitwaulia from Surakarta University. Today, I would like to present my preliminary shot. The title is Participatory Design for Inclusive Education, Enhancing Belonging, Cultural Relevance, and Empowerment for Marginalized Communities. I will present my PPT first. How participatory design or PD can be applied to create more inclusive education with a focus on fostering belonging, cultural relevance, and empowerment for marginalized communities. The issue this research addresses is the persistent inequities in education that disproportionately affect historically underrepresented groups. Conventional top-down educational design often excludes students, families, and communities from meaningful decision-making. As a result, curricula, pedagogy, and learning environment frequently fail to reflect students' diverse identities and lived experience. Participatory design is a collaborative approach that positions stakeholders, especially those directly affected, as co-designers of educational practice. It originated in 1970s Scandinavian labor movements and later expanded into human-computer interaction research and education. Key principles of participatory designs include co-creation, mutual learning, empowerment, and reflexivity. Participatory design is also an ethical stance, emphasizing inclusion, social justice, and equitable participation. Inclusive education recognizes values and accommodates learner diversity, including students with disabilities, racial and ethnic minorities, migrants, and low-income groups. It emphasizes equity, participation, belonging, and recognition rather than more uniformity. This study focuses on three core dimensions. First, belonging, students feeling accepted and valued within their learning environment. Second, cultural relevance, aligning curricula and pedagogy with students' identities, histories, and cultures. Third, empowerment, enabling students to develop agency, voice, and critical consciousness. The research question is, how does participatory design enhance belonging, cultural relevance, and empowerment in marginalized educational communities? We conducted a quantitative literature review, included peer-reviewed journals, conference proceedings, and foundational participatory design texts. A thematic analysis was used to identify patterns, findings, and challenges emerging from participatory design practices. One key finding is that participatory design strengthens students' sense of belonging. When students and communities are meaningfully involved in shaping educational environment, they feel recognized and respected. Dialogical spaces validate their voices and strengthen emotional connection with schools. This is associated with higher attendance, engagement, and persistence, especially among previously marginalized students. Participatory design also promotes cultural relevance in education. Rather than relying solely on standardized curricula, co-design draws on local knowledge, language, and cultural practices. Methods include collaborative workshops, curriculum co-development, and storytelling. This approach enhances relevance and challenges deficit-based narratives about marginalized communities. Participation in participatory design fosters empowerment and ownership. Students and community members develop critical skills such as collaboration, problem solving, and reflexive thinking. Empowerment extends beyond individuals to the community, enhancing collective capacity for advocacy and social change. Participatory design also positively affects school climate. It encourages horizontal relationship, collaboration, and mutual respect among teachers, students, and communities. Improved school climate is linked into higher motivation, stronger relationship, and fewer disciplinary issues. While participatory design alone cannot solve structural inequities, it contributes to a more inclusive and supportive learning environment. Despite its potential, participatory design faces several challenges. First, power imbalances. Educators or designers may still retain disproportionate control. Second, representation. Marginalized communities are heterogeneous and some voices may remain unheard. Third, sustainability and scalability. Participatory design is time-intensive and context-specific, requiring long-term institutional commitment. These findings highlight participatory design as a transformative framework rather than a purely technical methodology. Its success depends on ethical implementation, ongoing reflexivity, and willingness to confront entrenched power structures. Participatory design legitimates marginalized knowledge and support inclusive educational change when applied thoughtfully. In conclusion, participatory design can strengthen belonging among students, enhancing emotional and institutional connection, embed cultural relevance into curricula, reflecting students' identities and experiences, promote empowerment, fostering agency, and critical consciousness. Where challenges related to power, representation, and sustainability remain, participatory design offers substantial transformative potential. By embracing participatory design as an ethical, collaborative approach, educators and policymakers can move toward more equitable and inclusive education that amplifies marginalized voices. Thank you very much. I would like to hear your feedback.